What up, everyone? It's TyranitarTube. So it's June
15.
We just got back from E3. We got some news to talk about. There was some stuff revealed in the demo. I uploaded a video on the demo like yesterday. But I'm back from E3. I come bearing gifts. Here's my pass. Try reading my name. Did I blur it? To be honest, my name is already out there. But I kind of find it funny that no one actually knows it. I'm covering crap. Hey, if you met me in person, you saw my name. If you just freaking stared at my chest. What, is this not an update video, man? Yeah, I come bearing gifts though. Listen. Pass them along, okay? We have plenty to go around. You've left. You've left. Here's another one. You've left. Alright, here's the news. Can I wear this just to be like super VIP? Checkmate, fools. Okay, so at E3, they showed us the demo, which they plan to have little things that we can discover from it. New Pokemon. So with this video, you'll know everything that happened related to Pokemon Sword and Shield at E3 and you'll be up to date. So the last thing that happened was the presentation where they revealed that 13 minutes of crap, the wild areas and everything. We know all about that. It all starts with the Nintendo Direct. In the Nintendo Direct, they revealed, of course, the new Smash characters and all that stuff, but they also had a little section for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Also Breath of the Wild 2 and all that stuff. Shut up. So the first thing in the Direct is they showed the Pokeball Plus from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, which I don't have. I never got one. But you can use that to apparently store Gen 8 Pokemon in there. Then they revealed the freaking Water Gym, which we can assume is the second gym, and Nessa, the gym leader. It's gone to look. Listen, shit. What are you doing? Don't get him started. So when I was with the Nintendo reps, everyone said how much they loved their design, and then you leave the Nintendo booth and everyone thinks differently. So they revealed Nessa. She's a water gym leader, and you can see gameplay of it. The transition is really cool. There's no transition when you begin fighting. It literally, like, you're talking and then suddenly she just battles you. Also, come on, can we Patreon, can we get her the fifth finger for the glove? She uses the Dynamax Pokemon 2, she uses Dynamax Dreadnought. And if you guys line up to play the demo, the Dynamax bosses are insane. You can't beat them unless you have like a 4-time move to use against them. They one-shot everything and they're faster than you. And that's all the Nintendo Direct revealed. It was just a quick minute of stuff for Sword and Shield. The next thing is Grookey was shown to have a new move. It was teased by like a tweet or something, and now we know it's called Branch Poke. It's just a freaking grass move. Pokes a branch at you, maybe his own branch. They showed some cool UI stuff where when you're in a raid battle with your friends, you can see who hasn't made a move yet. Kind of feels a little homely. I know you need a Switch subscription to do stuff online. Like you can't even trade in Let's Go without that like $3.99 a month thing. But if there's a lot of stuff they can introduce for online, I think it'd be cool to just hang out with your friends there. So far, it's just raid battles. We don't know. And apparently in those raid battles you find in the wild area, you have 10 turns to beat it, or else it ends. Along with that, you can't just like team up on the Dynamax Pokemon, because apparently it can make multiple moves in the same turn. So you can't just use 4 moves at once. It'll probably attack in between. Another cool thing with Dynamax battles is, I like these features because it's so bossy, but the Pokemon will put up a barrier, and it becomes like a second health bar that you have to beat through first. And this second health bar, it has like even more divided bars inside it. It's really just another health bar that's defending its real health bar. You can use a strong move and maybe get rid of half of it, or you can do minimal damage and it'll always get rid of at least one of those little individual bars. I like this. I hope like when it comes to the legendary battles or something, they have these boss features to them. So this is all happening during the Treehouse Live, which happened at like an hour after the Nintendo Direct. And they don't let you in yet, so I was just at E3 waiting. But apparently if you go to the Treehouse Live that's online right now, like last time for Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee in the Treehouse Live, they played through games. They also spent like 20 minutes playing Let's Go. But this time I don't think they played the demo that you could line up to play, but they revealed the stuff I've mentioned right now. Pokemon Sword and Shield gameplay, Nintendo Treehouse Live. Oh my god, dude. So they spent 30 minutes talking about Pokemon. These are the things I'm talking about right now. They show you walking around in the wild areas. The open camera controls are so freaking cool. There's Pokemon here. So they said they try to mix the elements of like Let's Go, where you could see them in the overworld, with random encounters. So you can do both. The dislikes here are because Masuda and Omori, he takes some blame too. Who parts their hair like that? Don't make fun of him. To be honest, I saw Omori there and I feel bad because I thought I got the wrong person. I didn't want to say, yo, Omori, it's some random dude. The reason there's so many dislikes here is because Masuda said that when you use Pokemon Home, which to jog your memory, it's like the new Pokebank, when you transfer all your Pokemon to it from previous games and from Pokemon Go, it won't let you transfer Pokemon if they don't appear in the Galar Dex. And what that means pretty much is that there's no national Dex. Now, a lot of people are freaking pissed about this. Way more people than I would have thought. I know it sucks. I'm just giddy because Tyranitar's in the game. I don't care. I already got mine. But this is the thing. So this kind of started with Sun and Moon. See, in Sun and Moon, there was no national dex, but it was a little different. There's 403 Pokemon you can find in Sun and Moon. The rest do exist in the game, the other 400, but they don't have Pokedex entries. And if you transfer them to your game, it doesn't register in the Pokedex. This kind of stood out to me back in Sun and Moon days because I liked reading the Pokedex entries because they would reveal actual lore. Instead of it just being a Pokemon design, there'd be like a story behind it. Like with Lugia, it was spotted out the window on like a freaky blizzardy night. And it also hides under the sea because when it flaps its wings, it's too strong. They don't talk about that stuff in the game. So I like the Pokedex entries, and half the Pokemon in the National Dex didn't have Pokedex entries in Sun and Moon. Cut to Sword and Shield, and it almost looks like that not only is there going to be a split between what's going to be in the Dex and what's not going to be in the Dex, but whichever Pokemon don't make it in the Dex apparently simply don't even exist in the code of the game.
What?
So when Sword and Shield comes out, if hackers were to data mine the game, some of your favorite Pokemon just might not exist anymore in Sword and Shield. Like Hydreigon, maybe Lugia and Ho-Oh. They actually won't even be in the game anymore. So a lot of people are pissed about this. I kind of see why they're doing it. And of course, it's a big disappointment. There's so much you have to talk about when it comes to this. Of course, it's a slap in the face. I'm not supporting that they did this. And we're going on a tangent right now, but if you go to Twitter, right? This kind of makes me feel bad, but if you go to anything that Nintendo tweets or Pokemon tweets, so look, they're showing the line to play the Sword and Shield demo, look in the comments. Everyone just hashtagging bring back the National Dex. And apparently yesterday this was actually trending, at least in Canada. I kind of feel bad because any post they make just gets spammed with people wanting the National Dex back. And if they have no plans to do that, it's just kind of like a constant reminder of how pissed the fans are. But I guess let's not kiss their ass. I think the fans have a reason to be pissed for this. Some of y'all wanted me to make like an actual rant about how I feel about it. And I think there's something kind of scandalous about it. Maybe I'll talk about it. I don't know if I'll make a rant, but let's continue with the news. But if you're wondering what Pokemon, get this out of here, are so far confirmed in the game, you can go to a link in the description. Serby made a list of every Pokemon that's been shown in the trailer. And so far, there's like a good 100. No matter what kind of plan your mind may be plotting, my partner and I will be sure to sink it. Do you know what is going on in people's minds? The dirt's out there. Dynamax Dreadnought, look how freaking tiny she is compared to it. This is the next big thing. So, it was rumored before. I'm not going to talk about the leaks, but it was rumored that there would be something like X and Y's player search system, the PSS. It's right here, the YCOM. You can see what your friends are up to, whether they're online or nearby. And so Victor here, he's like, I need some friends for this raid battle. He's seeking. He's going to be seeking for hours because no one wants to join him. She meanwhile posted, it's like Twitter. She's like, hey, someone want to fight me? And then my bro Shield over here, which I think you're catfishing me. I don't think there's a Pikachu talking to me. Wants to trade. What the hell is freaking Sword, Shield, and Victor? Shows where he is too, the Watchtower Ruins. This is kind of cool. I liked the player search system a lot. Again, you need the Nintendo Switch subscription for this. I don't know if you need it for players who are nearby, but to trade, battle, or max raid with anyone who isn't close to you, you need that Switch subscription. But just so you guys know, if you're not paying $4 a month for the subscription, you can still do max raid battles. If you don't have any friends, they freaking throw AIs in there. There's trainers, like computers who will join you. It's especially good for me, because I don't have friends. I don't have a subscription, but that's because I have no friends to use it with. Hey, what you doing? Holy freaking crap, is that a Golisopod? Oh, it's a Hydreigon. Oh, Hydreigon's in the game. Hello. Bro, get Victor out of here. So this is what one of the Dynamax Pokemon spots look like. You see a light in the distance, and you'll see this here. Bro, this is something that's freaky. There's a picture of a Machoke freaking chasing after you. It's like a meme, like in Pokemon Sword and Shield, Machoke beats you up. But I think like when you find like fully evolved Pokemon, like a Tyranitar, and you get too close to it, it'll start chasing you, which is hilarious. Here's Nessa's water gym. So this is a big thing. When it comes to like the fully evolved Pokemon you see in the wild area, they can be way higher level than you sometimes. So you can be like level 12, you just beat the first gym leader Milo, and you walk into the wild area, you might find Pokemon the same level as you, or this Vespiquen might chase after you, and it's like level 30, and you have to run away, which I think is really cool. I just like the realism. So here's an example. One of the Electrikes is level 26, when she's only level 15. So here's Victor searching out for his friends. He's like, I'm gonna bring a Scorbunny. I think the Dynamax he found was a freaking Ralts. What the hell? But you can see it says here that the Dynamax boss battle ends if you can't beat it in 10 turns, or if 4 Pokemon faint. I think that balances out the raid battle. You know you can't beat that without going Dynamax yourself. The Dynamax Pokemon are way too strong. But that makes it an actual challenge. Okay, here's the barriers talking about. So Hydreigon has a second health bar with 5 divisions in it. Now, this is what's really cool. You can, when you go to the wild areas, you can see trainers in the background. You could see other trainers that you've connected with, which I think is really cool. This is that MMO stuff. This is what I really wanted to see in Pokemon. Mix it with the open camera controls. I think they're on their way to some cool stuff. It's a shame because they're doing so many cool things in this, but it's kind of getting overshadowed by the decision to like remove half the Pokemon for these games. Then there's the max moves. You guys know the max moves. When you've Dynamaxed, the way I see it, it's almost like your Pokemon gets so gigantic and monstrous that its normal moves are like Z moves, pretty much. It's like natural Z moves. So if you Spark, it turns into Max Lightning because you're so gigantic. And Max Lightning's secondary effect is that it leaves behind an electric terrain because you're freaking screwed over with so much power. That's how the max moves work. There's just one for each element. And then there's one called Max Guard, which maybe it like restores your health or something. Maybe it boosts your stats. But you can see, so Max Airstream, the flying move, boosts your speed. The Max Fire move activates the sun. The Max Water move activates the rain. The Grass one brings the grassy terrain. Rock one brings Sandstorm. They're all kind of cool. I think the concept of Dynamax grows onto you more as you use it. And so that's all they revealed in the Treehouse Live presentation. The one with all these dislikes. What are people saying in the comments? National Dex is better than Dynamax. You can't change my mind. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Everyone is here. Pokemon Sword and Shield. A pretty good amount of them are in there somewhere. Trust us. Fix the slogan. Pokemon. You gotta catch some. Dynamax is not necessary if you need to erase a lot of Pokemon Mega Evolutions from the game. A delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad. That's... Oh, don't do that to them. I think that's what's going on. I think they have to rush out the game to meet the timeline of the anime gonna start soon for Sword and Shield and other stuff that this game is just one piece of. So I think they need more time to work on it and they don't have it, so they have to do this. But yeah, I have a lot to say about the whole National Dex thing. I can't say it right now. But then, when all's said and done, now we can go and line up and play the Sword and Shield demo. And this is when we get even more information about the games. So I played through the demo and uploaded a video of the demo. What you're doing in the demo, how many demos? The demo for Sword and Shield is actually pretty cool. You start off in the water gym and you're pretty much solving the puzzle, fighting the trainers there. And then when you beat the gym challenge, which is what you call the little trial you have to go through before you get to the gym leader, then you can fight the gym leader in the big stadium. It takes about like 20 to 30 minutes to beat the demo. And this is kind of like a little marketing tactic because instead of releasing like a new trailer, they actually had some information in the demo for us to figure out and start tweeting pictures of ourselves. I don't think Pokemon has officially tweeted out these Pokemon's existence, but we all know because of the demo. So the first Pokemon is Yamper. Come on, dude. So this dude is in your party when you play the demo. All the Pokemon are set to level 50. And this little freaking wiener dog, Corgi, just chilling in the bottom of your party. He is Yamper. He is the electric Corgi Pokemon. To jog your guys' memories, this dude was rumored. You can see the little lightning bolt on his tail. A few weeks ago, people looked onto the t-shirts of the trainers in the crowds, and they noticed that there was this like electric Pokemon there. And he had a little electric bolt on his tail. This seems to be what that Pokemon was. He got it. Meanwhile, it was rumored that there'd be an electric Corgi Pokemon, and they revealed it in this demo. This dude is the freaking sick. It's just, I needed to see what it evolves into. So it's a pure electric type, and it gets a new ability called Ball Fetch, which is such a perfect ability. So it's a good little doggo, and what it does is, he fetches the ball. So anytime you try catching a Pokemon, the first Pokeball that breaks out, the dude will go fetch and bring back, which is perfect. The ultimate combination is to have Yamper in your party, and you can always get failed quick balls because you can only use it on the first turn. So this dude is like a freaking quick ball retrieving machine. Such a good Pokemon, dude. I like the design. Some people making fun of Yamper because he has a freaking wiener body, but that's just a Corgi, man. It's Chub Boy. So this dude's moveset is Play Rough, Spark, Crunch, and Wild Charge in the demo. He has Play Rough. I don't know if this means he's gonna become like an electric fairy type when he evolves. That'd be so good, dude. This thing's gonna be the new Arcanine. The Gen 8 Arcanine. He has his freaking tongue out. When you Dynamax him, he starts barking. It's hilarious. So that was the first new Pokemon revealed. And then there's the second and last Pokemon revealed in the demo. This dude right here. I saw freaking pictures of him, and I'm like, that dude looks like an Apom. And then when I played the demo myself, I realized his name is Impidimp. He's an imp. It's an imp Pokemon. And the rep balls would said that he is a dark fairy type, which makes him the first Pokemon to have that combination ever, dark fairy. That's a solid typing. The only one we need now is like normal ghost. But with Dark Fairy, you're like immune to Psychic, you're immune to Dragon, you're weak to Fairy, Poison, Steel. It's kind of fun to have this type combination. He knew Assurance, Sucker Punch, and Play Rough in the demo, and it was one of the last trainers in the gym, this last that uses it. So those are the 2 new Pokemon revealed in the demo. Electric Corgi, Yamper, and the frickin' Imp, Feral Imp, Impidimp. Some people look at this like a Sableye, like it's not gonna evolve, but I think it almost looks like it would evolve into like a beast of a Dark Fairy type. We'll see which one it is. Now, there were only 2 Pokemon revealed in the demo, but because we got a close look at the screen and we could take pictures ourselves, remember I said we saw like the electric Pokemon in the crowd on someone's shirt or on a billboard? Now people have taken pictures of a 3rd Pokemon that isn't shown in the demo, but might be an actual Gen 8 Pokemon. And Serebii themselves is putting it on their new Pokemon page as the unnamed squirrel Pokemon. You could see it in the crowd here. I don't know what I'm looking at here. I don't know if this is the squirrel they're talking about because it looks like a pat rat or a watchog, or if this is like the squirrel, or if like it's a beaver with a giant tail. I don't know what I'm looking at here. I've seen this pop up every day for weeks. I don't know what I'm looking at. But I think Pokebeach managed to take this picture, which shows a close-up on his shirt. The squirrel is eating berries. Berries are nuts or whatever, and this seems to be a squirrel Pokemon that will be revealed later. Of course, I feel weird saying it's going to be a Pokemon because it could literally just be a t-shirt design. But I guess Serebii trusted enough to put it on their page. So that makes 2 new abilities so far in Gen 8, which is Ball Fetch, thank you Corgi, and Cotton Down, which is for Gossifleur, but it's just another version of Gooey. And then of course, the last thing in the demo after you beat the gym challenge is Nessa. I can maybe show you guys a little clip from the video yesterday. Pretty much, when you make it to the stadium, she talks to you, and there's no transition. She just freaking puts her Pokeball forward and the battle starts. And then the music starts kicking in the background. It actually has a cool, like, stadium vibe. It was really cool. And she's, like, the perfect, like, design for a water trainer. How does that stay on you? She also talks to you mid-battle. So she'll talk to you when she's sending out her last Pokemon. And when you beat the Pokemon, the crowd starts cheering. Like, dude, someone took down the gym leader. It has a cool vibe and atmosphere to it. But that is everything that was revealed on day 1 of E3. That's the majority. So now you're pretty much up to date. But there's a few new things to talk about. So first of all, because man started tweeting Pokemon to bring back the national dex, people have made freaking change.org petitions. I think it's gotten Masuda's attention. I think he's noticed people pissed. And so US Gamer interviewed Masuda the day after, and he got him to say a bit more. So they talk about a lot of cool stuff and the work that went into the games. And then they go to Masuda and they ask him, looking at the news that came out yesterday, there's some limitations on the Pokemon Bank. Only the Galar region's Pokedex is going to be accessible. Can you walk me through why that decision was made and why you think it's important to have that limitation? What is Masuda going to say when you ask him why it's important that you only have like 500 out of the like almost 1,000 Pokemon in the game? He says, there are a couple of different parts to be thinking behind it, but the real biggest reason for it is just the sheer number of Pokemon. We already had well over 800 Pokemon species, and there's going to be more added in these games. And now that they're on the Nintendo Switch, we're creating with much higher fidelity, with higher quality animations. But even more than that, it's coming down to the battle system. We're making sure that we can keep everything balanced and give all the Pokemon that appear in the games a chance to shine. So his answer is that he wants to focus on a large portion of the Pokemon and make them the best that they can be, both updating previous Pokemon with their animations as well as maybe fixing up their stats or moves, which we don't know yet. But he wants to make like the 500 Pokemon that are actually going to be in the game as good and as refined as they can be, instead of doing like a jank job on all 900, depending on how many they add. Then he said that we knew at some point we weren't going to be able to indefinitely keep supporting all of the Pokemon, and we just found that Sword and Shield would probably be a good point to go back and reevaluate what would be the best selection to appeal to the widest audience. It isn't going to be just all new Pokemon in the Galar Pokedex. There's still going to be a lot of fan favorites, but it's just not all of them. This is his response. He's really just clarifying the slap in the face, and he picked a lot of the fan favorites by just picking Pokemon that feel like they would be in Galar. So like Charizard, Hydreigon and stuff, I guess they feel like they could be in the Galar region. So yeah, when they say that they knew at some point they're gonna have to stop, it was almost like Sun and Moon was that stepping stone. They were preparing with Sun and Moon to just make Pokemon not exist in it. Now they're gonna put it forward. Y'all let me know what you think about it. There's too much to say. Everyone's freaking pissed about it. Some people are saying that maybe they can salvage it by adding patches later on. I think there might be a solution to it. I won't mention it now, but apparently this decision of theirs is gonna hurt them a lot more than I would have expected. Like, I would be personally pissed if half the Pokemon didn't exist. Because imagine X and Y days. Remember when we didn't have Pokebank and we just were like playing with the same 200 Pokemon? And then when Pokebank came, it was like freaking crazy to see all the new Pokemon back. It almost be as if there was no Pokebank, and you were just left with those Pokemon in X and Y. Now you're up to date, but there's one more thing. Famitsu came out. What is Famitsu? So here's the E3 interview with Famitsu. I know y'all can read Japanese, don't lie to me. I know you can read that. Yeah. I'm sorry, did you just translate Omari's name as Akira Omari? It's Shigeru. What am I? What the hell, Google? This Google Translate sucks. Try reading it if you want. But Masuda pretty much said that, including alternate forms, after Sword and Shield comes out, there's going to be over 1,000 Pokemon, including alternate forms. So Shaman and Shaman Sky, all the RCSs. And he said that it's going to be too difficult to focus on all of them, while also needing to focus on the graphics in the game and the hardware changes, so that he chose to get rid of some of them. And he said that it was too difficult now to put the effort to make all the Pokemon appear, and also for the future to have to go through this again, but instead with 1,100 Pokemon or 1,200. He said it was actually quite difficult to bring all the Pokemon into Sun and Moon, and that was something they discussed a lot about behind the scenes. But when it came to rebuilding it from scratch for the Nintendo Switch, that they had to make a choice. And here are the last two things I'm going to leave you guys off with. So Famitsu asks them, are Pokemon that don't appear in Galar the illustrated book? Is that the translation for Pokedex? Do Pokemon that don't appear in the Galar Pokedex have a chance to be added in future updates? And Masuda says that it's undecided, so he has nothing to say about it. They haven't made a decision whether they would want to add him back in patches or not. But that kind of sounds crazy to me. Like, I know we're in Switch territory, but Nintendo's never like done updates like that, patches. It'd be like a DLC. Here's the question: would Pokemon fans be even more angrier if they charge $5 to get the rest of the Pokemon? But yeah, the answer out of this is that Masuda doesn't have anything to say. He hasn't decided to do it yet. It might change. And this is the last thing I'm going to leave you guys off with. It says right here that Pokemon can be Dynamax for 3 turns when battling in a specific area. In addition to this, Mega Shinka, which is Mega Evolution, and Z-Waza. That is Zawaldo. And Z moves do not appear. There are no Mega Evolutions in Sword and Shield. There are no Z moves in Sword and Shield. I don't know how vague that is. What they're saying here is not that no new Mega Evolutions are going to appear, or no new Z moves, is that they won't appear, like from the previous gens either. So a lot of people are doing RIP Mega Venusaur 2013 to 2019. Apparently all the Megas die with this game. I don't know how permanent it is. I don't know if like when Gen 9 comes out, if Megas return. But in Sword and Shield, I guess they want to change the theme, do a shift on what they want to do here in the UK. And so they're doing the stadium stuff. They're introducing Dynamaxes, and they have the Queen's Royal Sun as the champion. They want to keep out Mega Evolution, cut out a lot of the older Pokemon, and keep it as like its own game that takes place in the UK. So now you know everything related to Sword and Shield. Thank you very much. It took me minutes to explain this. You guys want a present? Let me know your thoughts in the comments about the stuff they're cutting out, but also about all the new stuff they revealed, man. Don't let it overshadow it. Trust me, it is really annoying that all this stuff is getting cut out. It's like, you're introducing so much, you're getting us hyped about it, you're making us love all these Pokemon and Mega Evolution and stuff, and then you just cut it and move to something else. But of course, there's a lot to say about that. Let me know in the comments if you want me to rant about it, the solution to this, and what I think they're maybe doing when they're cutting out all these Pokemon. Let me know in the comments. I wouldn't do a rant video like so suddenly on something like that. I usually do rants on stuff people don't expect. So the first rant was on Pokemon being easier, and the second one was about how much they screwed over Sun and Moon by literally like being like the annoying kid who spoils everything to you, which they're not doing for Sword and Shield. Ranting on something like this, I feel like it's milking just everyone's anger towards the situation. But hey, I do have some stuff to say, so if you guys want to hear it, maybe I'll rant about it. But that's it. Shank the like button. Leave Nessa alone. You already took Sonia. You took the kids. Don't come back for Nessa. I know they already did. Can I just play a clip of the innocent Nintendo rep who just likes Nessa's design? What is he gonna go home to? No, Nessa, you've changed. Okay, peace. Bye.